What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the best women's boxing show, period. I am Cynthia Conte.
And I am Jeandra LaBeouf, and we are glad to have you back for another one. Welcome back.
Yes, we are. Jeandra, I love that hair. I always say that, but you are looking fun. Looking
Thank
so,
you.
so cute. I love
I'm,
this look. Very 50s too with the little Letterman jacket. I feel like
I'm
you're
trying
gonna
to
pop
bring
out
it
and do
back.
Grease.
It's cold. Like I feel like this is the most clothing we've had on in an episode in a while because it's hot in Vegas, it's hot in LA,
Yeah.
and then usually I have the fan on underneath the table. It's cold if I got a jacket on and no fan, so it's kind of cold because the little personal summer be getting me.
Well, it's cold here for Vegas, but it's still gonna be like 68. That's cold
Oh,
to me,
nice.
but that's like summer for a lot of people. I saw people when I went to the store, I'm like bundled up, like beanie and whatnot, and people are like in shorts, freaking sandals. They're probably
I know
like,
it's supposed
she's
to be
from
a heat wave.
LA.
It's supposed to be like a heat wave this week. I was looking at the temperature. It's supposed to be like 77-ish
Oh
this
yeah, like
week.
80s. That's
Love
right.
that. Sorry for you guys who aren't on the West Coast.
Well,
Sorry for
even though we
you.
are on the West Coast, it's still kind of cold, but it's all
Yeah,
right.
true.
I'd rather have this than blizzard
Hell
floods.
yeah, for sure.
But all right, well, let's get into it because I know a lot has happened. We have to kind of touch on a lot of subjects that's happened.
Hmm.
By the way, happy belated Thanksgiving.
Yay. I
Yeah,
hope
so
everybody ate good. Man, I almost feel like that should segue into like the
you want
later
to say
topic
we
because
could
folks
totally
was eating
segue into
good.
that. We could totally, you know what? Okay, wait. We have to first get the hot topic that's still kind of going because it is still hot. Because I just pulled up Terence Crawford, of course, and the
Hmm.
WBC split. If you guys have been living under a rock, WBC has stripped Terence Crawford, yes, the undisputed champion, of his title because he refused to pay the 300,000 sanctioning fee. Okay, so I'm going to be a devil's advocate.
Let's do it.
I understand. Yes, you're getting paid 50 million. That's what I'm assuming because that's what everyone has been saying. Not sure if that's exact total, but Crawford has been undisputed twice beforehand, and there were sanctioning fees, and he's paid it, or they took it out of his. I don't know how that works. If they have to physically
Hmm.
give him like a direct deposit, a wire, I'm not sure. What's different about this fight? Maybe because there's a lot more zeros and commas to
Hmm.
give 300,000 than the last. And I'm just being honest. Giandra, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm a little confused about that too because I did watch his stream and then I also watched Mauricio's messages saying something like he didn't pay the sanctioning fees for the last two fights. So the last
Oh,
two fights Crawford was in was this one with Canelo, and then before that was the one that was out here, right?
yeah, yeah, the big Vegas one.
Yeah,
Oh no, no,
the
no.
what's
Oh,
his name?
um
You know what I'm
the
talking
one
about.
he
You
beat
came
his
out.
ass, Spence.
Yeah. And
Yes.
where no, no, no. Even after that, the one that was here at the Bank Stadium, the Banco Stadium.
Oh, the Turkey one. Oh,
Yeah,
Israel Madrimov. Madrimov.
Madrimov, the
Yeah.
Madrimov fight. So if I'm understanding, and if viewers correct me if I'm wrong, I think Mauricio said that he didn't pay for the last two. So I'm guessing these purses were pretty hefty. And I too don't understand fully how it works. And I can see both sides.
Hmm.
It's almost like a license. We all like drive a car, and I'm not pocket watching you, Crawford. And I actually agree with you about the sanctioning fees, but I never ever see any of the other sanctioning bodies complain about the sanctioning fees that they get from the fighters. Now, I granted that the WBC is the most visible, it's the most storied belt, the most recognizable belt. But what I don't understand what happened with him and Crawford that Crawford didn't pay the last one and this one. There has to have been some kind of conversation. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, something happened because I'm going to pull up a tweet that he tweeted 4 days ago. So that's why I'm confused. He said, "Let's make things very clear." Terence Crawford tweeted this on X. "I never agreed to anything with WBC Mauricio on anything, nor did my team. So stop the cap with that narrative. I've always been a man of my word." I'm not sure if the fighters who fight for the WBC belt specifically, I'm talking about that, they know that those sanctioning fees go to a fighter, a retired fighter fund. And so this I do know, and I'm not, and I know people are going to come for me, but I'm just saying because I'm a WBC ambassador, but I haven't done anything lately with them, is that the money that they receive from those sanctioning fees do go in this fighter fund that pays for fighters like past old fighters, their hospital bills, like things that people don't know. So I'm not sure if the fighters are actually educated on that when they, I hate to say it, like when they get a belt, they should like watch a course or like understand exact this is what I don't know because I've never heard a fighter say, oh, I learned about this about my belt, I learned the history about my belt. Fighters don't really give a shit. They just want the belt. But when the money's being pulled out of their purse, that's when I would ask questions like, where is this exactly? So, and I
Mhm.
see that people are like, well, Mauricio, this is called charity. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's almost, and I feel sad saying this, it's kind of like the more money someone's going to make, all of a sudden trainers change. It's kind of like the Gennady, Abel Sanchez, like things like that. You get
Mhm.
your certain percentage of 20%. I don't know what the sanctioning fee is for a WBC belt. I'm not sure. I don't
I
know.
don't
Does
think
it?
anyone should come for you because I think what you're saying is correct. And, folks have been paying all this time, all this time, all this time. It's a percentage. He's saying stop the cap, that they didn't agree to anything. If anyone can tell us what the usual percentage of it is, if you've been paying a usual percentage, if you agreed to it, then I think you should pay. I think you should pay something. Um, but 3% of $50 million is a
Hold
lot.
on. Let me
Oh.
find out. 50 mil. What is? No, wait. What
Three
is it?
percent of 50 million would be, let's see,
I let
five
me
would
just
be
do my
two and a half. Woo,
50
that'd be like 1.75 million, I'd say.
times. Did you say point 0.3 3%?
If it's 3%, I
Let's
don't
just
even know
say
what it is.
hypothetically. That's 1.5. Yeah. So if it's 6% maybe.
That's,
I don't.
yeah. So I could
No, 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 no.
see,
That's 3 million. So it's probably like a point something.
so if they're saying 300 versus, I could see what Mauricio's talking about. Like, I could get that. And God don't have me side with the WBC on nothing. But I get what he's saying. If this
Yeah.
has been what they've done all this time,
Mm-hmm.
then it should be continue to do so because I don't like when people get cheated out of money when they've had like an amicable relationship
Yeah.
this whole time. The thing that has been intriguing to me though is reading some of the comments from other fighters.
Oh,
So you have the fighters who are like I saw Sulem posted that, she was definitely on the side of the WBC because when she was an amateur and her brother was killed, that they were very active and helped her. And also with like Israel Vasquez, rest in
mm-hmm.
peace, they, and just, other people. But at the same time, you have other fighters who are in the comments who are pro fighters who are like, who exactly are these fighters that you help and how do you pick and choose who do you want to help? Because it doesn't seem like it's allocated evenly. And if it goes into a fighter retirement fund, like who are the fighters that are reaping the benefits? If you're a fighter and you're watching this and you are receiving pension funds for the WC, holler at us because I really want to know, like, is there a handbook? Like you said, there should be some type of orientation that explains that. I think that's a phenomenal idea so that when you're enrolled, like clean program, drug testing, all that, give them a whole ass
Yeah.
orientation and tell them, like, look, you fight for us if there's a belt, this amount every time, because it's for this and more transparency. So I could see like both sides.
They should do it right when before they sign that contract. If you want to fight for so and so's belt, or this is what's going to happen, like kind of like when you sign like a 401k, you're going to be deducted this and that. Like they should really state it, and it's their decision. Like, okay, I want to fight for the belt, or like, no, I don't agree with it. There's no negotiation of the percentage split because it's a cross sport. But like we said, we don't know what happened in those. We just don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if there was ever anything spoken. Turkey a la Sheikh. I mean, it's been going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
This fee has been going on for a while, but I
It
think,
it reminds me of what fight was that when Turkey didn't want the WBC belt on the stage?
Canelo.
It's so interesting. It's like it's always like a web with the W. Somehow, somewhere, Canelo be in the middle of a web with the
But
WBC.
then remember, okay, I'm just bringing this up because I see everyone bring it up. When he got popped, I mean, they always just be like, we be Canelo for WBC, just we be corrupt. Like, it's hard because if you're going to stand by your rules, you have to stand by your rules. Like, you guys made him like a franchise champion and all this kind of crazy stuff after he got busted and his fight with Gennady went to shit for the rematch. And I just
Not to mention, how long was Charlo the champion without fighting, but you strip
two
Crawford for
years, I
not giving you
think.
money?
Mm. Make it make sense. And like this is very respectful because these are conversations that have to be had. Like it's
Right.
really hard when I see people, I mean, Twitter warriors, Twitter finger X warriors, they're like, I get like when people are asking genuine questions and Mauricio is like, if you ask me properly, and I'm not saying he's the one tweeting back. I
Right.
don't know who is responding for him, but I think there just needs to be hard questions answered. And maybe we should
Hmm.
do that. Maybe we should like try to get Mauricio. Remember, like,
I'd be into it.
just be like, so what is this? And you don't have to tell us, but is there like a handbook or is there something written that this is the sanctioning fee across the board? Whether you're
Yeah.
making $1 billion or $1,000 or
Cynthia,
like
that's a
500,000.
phenomenal sentiment. Like, if this is their policy, there should be something in writing that says when you fight for the WBC, this is what happens. Because if not, then now you lean more to the Crawford side of it. Like, why isn't it being,
Yeah.
executed the same for all fighters? Canelo, you've been quiet on this subject. Come talk to us. We could drink some Viva Mexico Cabrones. And how much have you paid in sanctioning fees over the years? Or
Right.
should maybe we should get Christy Martin back on and ask her about it.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
I don't
I
know.
think
Fighters, we let's talk about it.
Okay, but then you think about, remember when we were at the Canelo fight or the Canelo Crawford, they have, of course, always the beautiful belt, the commemorative belt, and he got a ring. Do you remember that
He sure did, like
godly
that
ring?
big ass like Super Bowl ring.
Hmm. So
And Bomac got a belt too.
yeah, well, all the trainers get like trainer of the year, which I do agree. Like, I hope they don't pay sanctioning fees on that,
They might be. They
dude.
might be.
But I don't think they do. But I just, it does make people wonder because, we just assume everyone's all right with it. And I do hear fighters that they do agree with for fighting for the belts and why that money matters. But I think those fighters aren't making buku bucks like that
Right.
just yet.
Right.
So, this is a
I wonder even
conversation.
if there's like a bare minimum. Like, let's say it's one of those like the second and third tier belts where it's like the
The gold,
WBC,
silver,
silver, Latin
interim.
America, wobble belt, like, do you still pay 3%? Because those guys are not making a lot of money and they need to pay the trainer and the this and the that and the third. Like, are those also sanctioned belts or is it like the main belts? I really, we got to take a deep dive into this and see what's going on.
This is such, oh God, I want to just segue because all roads lead back to the one that ate way too much. But
Mhm.
we will touch on that. It really does. Fuck it. We're going to that. We're just gonna go from the top because so we're gonna keep watching WBC and Terence Crawford because it really is because now, oh yeah, because Zuffa and they have been making their rounds. Nick Khan, Dana White, obviously he is Crawford is his own fighter, but he fights for Zuffa. He's
Mhm.
not tied to them as in a contract, but he fought the first Zuffa boxing and when they're doing this whole Muhammad Ali Revision Act, they're like, well, why is the WBC stripping? And I understand some people they've been in boxing longer than us, actually. Like I learned about Nick Khan's story. He's like, I don't understand why the WBC is pulling it if they rightfully saw him win the fight and he gets stripped. So they're just saying it's all about money. So it's really become this big thing that people in boxing and with Zuffa coming in, TKO, whatnot. All right, now the thing that we just were like, well, we'll talk about later. Foster versus Fulton. Cool boy. Actually, no, what's his name? Water.
Cool boy Steph.
No, no, no. But
And the other one is like
Foster's
ice
is
water, ice
ice
water.
water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to put that interview out because his very first interview I did with him, I never put out because his fight got canceled. And I asked him
Mm.
about how he got the name Ice Water. And I was like, oh, actually a very interesting story. So yeah, the fact that that's Ice Water versus Cool Boy Steph, what up? I mean, it was a
Well,
stinker.
they say water
Not
melts ice,
right,
water
right.
melts ice.
He
So
cooled Fulton's pudgy stomach down.
let's just rewind it all the way back to that, to this weigh-in photo. With the day I remember you were watching the weigh-in, or you sent me some
I sent
pictures
it
of the
to you.
weigh-in, and I said, well, damn, Thanksgiving must have been damn good at the Fulton residence, because he just was
He,
given a full dad bod. He looked like he was 3 months.
I didn't hear like I guess on people's interviews. Oh no, he said something and he said, "Oh yeah, about Thanksgiving." He's like, "Yeah, I had two desserts. This is before
Clearly.
the weigh-in. I had two desserts and I had some Thanksgiving." And they're like, "That statement hits differently after that weigh-in." And I'm like, and I didn't know about it until my friend told me about the one that teaches me about betting. And he was like, I was gonna bet. He's like, forget it. I go, why? What happened? Did the fight get called off again? He's like, no. He looked like he rolled off the couch and he looks fat. I'm like,
He looked like he had some beans, greens,
yeah,
tomatoes, tomatoes. He had more. He
yeah.
Stop lying to us. You had more than two desserts, bro. That kind of a pudge on an athlete. That's almost like you weren't doing no cardio, no
And
nothing.
the fight was postponed, so you still had more time. You could have been overtrained. Overtrained means like you're too skinny. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that it was up for Foster's belt at that weight class at is it 130? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
him moving up.
and
Mm-hmm.
and then they moved it up. Okay, this is where this is where WBC gets tied in again.
Yep.
They because oh my God, when they said now it's for the WBC interim, I'm like, interim what? Like they just, by the way, WBC just had their convention in Bangkok just last week, and they sanctioned a fight, can't remember the two fighters' names, for this specific WBC interim belt. And so now Mauricio tweeted out or said that he felt bad because they sided with the promoter because that fight has fallen out twice. I, and
Come on, Mauricio.
so then
So you can be a fat ass,
and still get a belt.
but you want to strip Crawford immediately.
That's the problem. That was the big issue on Twitter. It
And
wasn't
and
just
here's the
that, it
thing.
was plus this.
And then even hearkening back to that, if you made an agreement with Crawford, sue him then. Sue him
Oh
for the money.
yeah.
I haven't seen anybody say anything litigious about it. And I'm not advocating Crawford, Team Crawford. I'm not hating.
We are just
But
advocating for what's right.
we're just having for the sake of discussion. If
Yeah.
he's saying you said stop the cap, and the fact that they haven't proposed something litigious against him, now I'm even more leaning like Crawford. Like, did y'all really have a conversation with this man about how much in sanctioning fees you were going to get? And then I saw a lot of people having the whole conversation about this amount goes to fighters and the other 75K don't. And people, well, what's that going to? Come on, people, be for real. People work for the WBC. People have salaries and stuff like that. The WBC does have to have operational costs. So
Yeah.
get off of Mauricio for that.
Yeah.
They
Like
have
yeah.
employees. Like, get off of him for that. People still got to work. They ain't working for free. It's not a volunteer organization. But the
Hmm.
rest of it, the 225 or whatever amount that is floating around, like I would, we want to know more. We just want to know
Yeah.
more.
And so that's what caused the shitstorm is that, you strip him in 1 week in this, I think I think the same week. And then someone is overweight by 2 pounds. 2 pounds. That's a lot. Like he didn't try, like you said, he had that like mama belly at the bottom. And the way he just, I'm like, Lord,
It was so
it's
bad. It was
embarrassing.
just so like you are too up in your career to be showing up looking like that. That is crazy.
That's
And it's not
just,
even like I could even have a little give for heavyweights. Like Andy Ruiz was a mockery when he fought Anthony Joshua and he showed up looking like that. And he still ended up winning, but that's a whole nother thing.
mhm.
You are what is 130? Bantam? Bantamweight?
Lightweight. I think it's
So
130. Yeah.
that's
Oh no.
crazy.
Let me make sure before everyone starts yelling at me.
But even anyone at that small a weight class to show up looking like that, I don't ever
Hmm.
want to hear another word about women's boxers, women's fighters, or none of that, especially a woman fighter that has had a baby. I don't want to hear nothing
Wait,
after seeing that
what are you saying? 130 junior lightweight.
junior lightweight.
Yeah.
So Fulton, or Fulton, yeah,
Yeah,
Fulton,
Fulton.
bro, that was embarrassing. But I think that, I tweeted that I felt like Inoue took his soul, and there are people
Oh God.
nah,
Oh yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
he won after that, but then that just speaks to the caliber of fighters that he was fighting after that. No Tino shade, but look at how he looked. He was not dialed in.
I've never seen, I mean, we couldn't believe it. And so for the fact that even with the moved up weight, okay, fine. You end up moving up 2 weight classes. That's your fault. And you performed. It was just so lackluster. I mean, uh, like it was such a 50-50 fight going into it. And then obviously when he fell off, it was like, oh, Foster was the favorite, but he put on a masterful clinic. My God,
Right.
Foster was just he could he, Fulton had no answers for that jab. And when Foster threw his jab, it was just like going through the guard. And I'm
Yeah.
like, look at Fulton's face. Foster could keep fighting. Like
Fulton looked like he just woke up from a nap and was like, oh, the fight's tonight.
his dessert
And
nap.
he just came through like, okay, somebody get me an espresso or something. I was taking me a rest.
Yeah,
That's how he
and when
looked.
he tweeted, he's like, "I know I didn't perform my best." It's like, no, it's not that you performed your best. You failed the scale. That's when
Mhm.
you already lost. And the fact that if so people have to understand Foster was never stripped of his belt because the belt was not on the line anymore. So it was for a vacant belt where both fighters were able to fight for a belt. And that's where the discrepancy and the issue was for a lot of people was awarding Fulton another chance to fight for an
Because you
interim
felt
belt.
bad that they got stripped. No, you awarded them another opportunity because you need some sanctioning fees
That's what everyone was
to get
alluding
off of
to.
the fight.
No, they felt bad because the fight fell out twice because it was like a curse fight. Because
Mhm.
that card, if you remember, Janabek, who was supposed to be no, the fighter with Lara,
Mhm.
that fight fell out because Janabek popped dirty for Melodrium.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fighters, stay off the drugs.
right,
Stay off the
right.
drugs. Stay
Right.
off.
And now, well, you know what? And that was a fight. Janabek he fucked up the bag because I thought he was going to win easily. And then Crawford was going to come in and swoop up to do an undisputed. He's not
Our
going to go
last
fight
run it,
Lara. Lara's a straight.
I feel like our last run it back, we talked in depth about that,
Yeah.
about the potential of a Crawford Janabek fight.
Uh-huh. You see
Opportunity
that?
right there.
All that money just waiting there. So Fulton just didn't perform.
Mm-hmm.
And Foster performed, and people took note of that. Now Shakur is like blah 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 blah. Oh, these boys.
What a weekend, you know, and let's even oh Fulton. I don't know. Where do we before we put the bow on him, you know, is there any
He
this is
needs
clearly
to
not his weight class. So what does he even do now?
he needs to go back down, obviously, because Foster is going to keep the belt at his at the at his regular weight class, and Fulton needs to hire a strength and conditioning coach or whatever. You know, if it was just a one-off, because it's not like he's done that. We saw him for Inoue, but maybe he needs to do some deep dive meditation because I even tweeted it out like I didn't even know you tweeted that. I was like, yeah, Inoue took his soul. He
He
took,
did.
and it's not like, and credit to Fulton. Fulton did actually well against Inoue. It's just Inoue. That's the thing, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But he needs to get back and start fighting again because it's not. I mean, his two losses were against Inoue and Foster was just. I mean, God, he looks so good. He really worked on what he needed to work on, and it's like a sparring session. So
Yeah.
that's what Fulton needs to do. Just get back at it. A loss is a loss. You own up to it that you didn't make the weight. It's not you can't say you didn't perform well. It's because you didn't make weight and that's part of your job. The
Mhm.
fighting is just kind of like the icing on the cake. So,
Right.
but yeah.
Right. Right.
All right. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Fights are made in camp. Fights are made in camp.
Hmm.
That's where the most damage takes place. So,
Yep.
Fulton, hope we see you back renewed, refreshed, and
Yeah.
we'll see
So
what
yeah.
goes from there.
All right. Okay, so Jeandra, we are on the chat, the ppv.com chat, and
I
that was so fun.
have
Pitbull
ball.
versus Roach. Girl, from the beginning, there's a lot of things about this fight that were just interesting. What was your prediction at the very beginning when the fight was right about to start?
My prediction from the beginning was Roach by unanimous decision. I didn't think he was going to knock out Pitbull or anything like that. I thought it would be a good competitive fight, but I ultimately thought that skills would be superior to just sort of like brute force.
Yeah.
And why Pitbull, what was your prediction? What was your prediction?
Mine was I was like Lamont's going to box him because Pitbull only fights one way. I don't know if I don't even think Pitbull even threw a jab. Honestly, I don't even know, honestly. And so the fact that he came out blazing balls at the beginning with Pitbull, Pitbull's like, yeah. And I'm like, why is he fighting his fight? Okay, maybe to like get the crowd going, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. But look at what happened. Second
Yep.
round, he got dropped in his
Pitbull was
first time
fighting
in
a
his career.
He was fighting a really great fight. Like his timing, you know, I
Oh,
agree
yeah.
with you that hello, where's the jab at? Didn't see no
Hmm.
jabs, but his timing was really, really beautiful. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, I think this might be the best version of Pitbull that I've seen in
Yeah.
the different fights I've seen him in. And then it just kind of screwed the pooch as the fight went on.
Yeah, because even what Lamont's dad was like, get back to boxing. And we're like, in the chat, we're like, why isn't he boxing? And I'm thinking, this is really odd. But I go, you know what? Pitbull is like really smart for just fighting, letting him fight his fight. And I think some of those faces, Pitbull, what was it? He kind of squatted down. He's like, I'm
That was
like,
doing the most. I'm like, bro,
oh,
put it away.
I'm like, I gotta
Put it
turn that
away.
into a meme.
It was
I
like
know.
if he was like Samoan or like Tongan or something, it would have been cool, but or Maori, but it was just looking a little crazy.
I
It
was
was looking
like,
a little crazy.
what is happening? And then I don't even know what round. And he was, it's towards the later rounds. I'm like, you need to stop. He starts doing the little salsa. I'm like, what are you doing? Dance. Why are you dancing right now? But
They were having them
yeah,
a time.
but you know what? When I don't even remember, but at one point, because I was like, okay, I got to get ready for bed, and I'm like bringing my computer around, watching it. And when they got tied, I was like, oh shit, there goes that 10-8 round. I think that's someone, I think you said that. And the
Mm.
fact that Lamont's like, okay, I need to box. And I'm like, okay, if he continues to box, easy win. Like, easy win. He boxed. I don't remember the 11th and 12th round, but in my mind, I was like, okay, Lamont won this, not by a lot, but we all assumed that how it was going to be scored when those judges were, when the scores were read. What were your thoughts, Jeandra?
I was very surprised. I was very surprised by, and someone in the chat predicted a draw. I think it was
Yes, yes, someone
either
said
Chris
that.
Algieri or Dan Canobio. One of those guys said that they thought it was, I don't think it was Algieri, it must have been Canobio. But I didn't think we were going to get any draw. I thought Roach bounced back in the later rounds enough to like edge it out and still get a UD win. I would have even expected I would have been okay with even a split decision win just
Hmm.
because of the knockdown or whatever. But they had the point deduction and just,
You know, if
it
you
was
think
all
about
over
it,
the place.
if you think about this, if the point deduction wasn't there, Pitbull would have won.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's why Pitbull's like, you stole this fight from me. But then I, I think I did I take a picture of the scorecards? Hold on, let me see. Because I was just kind of floored when I saw, I mean, we were all, I even said, Lamont should win this by points, but it's Texas. If it's
Hmm.
Texas is being Texas, if it's any other thing, Texas is being Texas. Sure
Yeah.
enough. And I was like, and I'm a betting girl. I was sitting there trying to bet on a draw, but they just locked it. I'm like, it was plus 1600. I'm like,
Damn.
yeah.
Damn.
Oh, is this it? I think it is. Oh yeah. Okay, so the scores were 113, 113, 113, 113, and the last judge gave it 115, 111. So let me see. They
What was the
gave
one what was that first score again?
113, 113, two
113,
draws.
113, 113.
Yeah. And then 113, 113. So the guy who, let me see, nine, nine. So they gave, so Corey Tellez gave the fifth round to Pitbull, and the other two gave it to Lamont. And then 10, 10, 9. Yeah, so across, oh yeah, so the 10th, 11th, and 12th, the first two draw judges gave it to Lamont, and then and Tellez gave the last three to Pitbull, or the last four to Pitbull.
Hmm.
So it's interesting, and you know what? It just sucks is that two draws against Tank
Yeah.
Davis, against Pitbull, and what didn't he fight him in San Antonio last
Yeah.
week? Yeah, and I feel really really bad. He broke his wait, let me see. He broke his hand in the fifth round from what I read. I do too. And I just he really performed very well. But honestly, if he just stuck to the game plan at the very beginning and just boxed,
Yeah, that wasn't his fight at all. I don't know why he had it in his mind that he just wanted to get out there and just start rumbling with this man. That is not your fight. Fight from the outside, pick him apart, use your skill. And
mhm,
then, as you warm up and you start downloading information as the fight goes on, he started getting better in the late mid to later rounds, but just got completely out of his game,
yeah,
completely out of his game.
yeah,
And then, I was watching some streams of the post fight press conference. They both were looking pretty lumped up.
yeah.
They both took some shots for sure.
I mean, they would want a rematch. I think it's warranted. Not in Texas, guys. Not in Texas. It'll
Mm-hmm.
probably end up being in Florida. Watch. Florida's just as
Texas,
bad.
Florida, shoot, we might be in like Kalamazoo or some wild stuff in the to who knows where else is it lawless? West Virginia, uh,
Georgia. I think yeah,
Georgia. Georgia would have been, I feel like, a better place for that fight too. But well, no,
yeah,
let me not say that because they for sure put some asses in some seats. If
yeah,
nothing else, we know Pitbull gonna put some asses in the seats. But just the commission down there, like
yeah.
I
That's
feel
the
for
problem.
Lamont Roach. I wouldn't even know where to begin after this because now you have to pick yourself up mentally. It's one thing taking a loss from an opponent. If someone just outclassed you, outbeat you, you can almost, it's a hard pill to swallow, but at least you can point to it and say, that was the better man that night and
Yeah,
that person beat me. But now it's like every time you go out, you're wondering, are the judges gonna? You had
yep,
Tank with taking a knee and running off to the corner, lost that fight. You've got this man point deduction and jumping into you with the head butts and all that. a draw? Like, I want to know, like, as a team, how do you bring your fighter back to block that type of noise out? That's a different type of noise. And that's
Because
sad.
I what I was really focusing on right before they were doing the judging or like about to announce it, I'm like, how long is it going to take for them to add it up? Because during the tank one, it sure took a long time, and I'm like, this one did not take long. It was
At
like, all
all.
right. So I was like, okay, but they have a clear winner. So these judges saw it obviously very differently, and I'm gonna have to rewatch the fight because doing a chat and watching at the same time are like really hard because I was like
Yeah.
I want to just focus, but it was fun to hear everyone's opinion and thoughts, and it was just kind of like, well, boxing is just boxing as always. But
I enjoyed that chat, by the way. Shout out to ppv.com. Thank you
yeah,
again for hosting us. And shout out to Chris Algieri, Dan Canopio,
Ryan O'Hara,
Ryan
yeah,
O'Hara, Gail Falkenthal, and all
Alan
those other
Dawson,
people.
we were all up
Yep.
in it.
Fred,
To yeah, Fred Sternberg.
Fred the publicist. I had a great time. Like, to me, that reminded me of how like Twitter used to be on a fight
Yes,
night.
yes,
And
yes.
it was so fun. Like, I used to love Twitter on fight nights. It used to be so fun, whether you were at the fight or not. Like, our biggest concern back then were if Steve Kim and Mark Ortega were gonna fight on Twitter. Like, simpler times, simpler times. And
Yeah,
but everyone was just passionate about the fights, no matter who were your
yeah.
favorite fighters. Everyone was just excited about a fight. Now you got all these weirdos and bots and people who don't know nothing about boxing. And I'm not doing the whole they're casuals and we're better. Just people who don't know nothing, who just want to stir the pot to be stirring. And
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with boxing. Like,
Yep.
we need
Yep.
to start our own boxing, like x.com, twitter.com, where it's only for boxing fans. That would be great.
Yeah. You have to have a real picture. No,
Yeah,
no
exactly. You have to
avatar.
verify your identities before you get to talking shit.
So yeah, I mean overall the fight was the card was great. Lars stunk up the joint, but hey, it's not his fault. The guy it's not his fault. It's
Mhm.
Janibek's fault. And
Mhm.
Janibek, I bet he was salivating. He's like, dude, I could have picked apart this guy. You lost out on a huge payday from here on out. Sorry, dude. And I was
Yep.
writing for you. I I was writing for you, but no more. Fight that it's press week right now, like you mentioned, and we mentioned him earlier. The fight, wow, Teofimo versus Shakur for Teofimo's belt.
Mm.
Shakur is moving up in weight. He's moving up from 135 to 140. Right now, the betting odds as of today on BetMGM is minus 350 Shakur as the favorite, Teofimo plus 250. So that means if you
Wow.
bet 100 on Teofimo and he wins, you get 250. And for Shakur, so that's the value. And for Shakur, if you bet 350 on Shakur, you get 100.
I'm very excited for this fight. You know, there's been a lot of convo between all of them and Teofimo for quite some time. And love or hate Teofimo, whatever you think about him and what he said, other than that one turkey card, the New York one where everybody was outside and couldn't see nothing, Tio is just usually in some good fights. Shakur has been looking phenomenal. Like,
Yes, he is.
as the fights go on, he just keeps getting better and better and better. And it makes me think of Crawford when Tio wanted a Crawford fight, and Crawford was like, "You gotta fight my little bro before you even smell me." So I'm very excited for this fight. I hope something happens. Turkey that we could come to the fight because I would really like to go to that fight. I'd like some access
Well,
if we're
dude,
able to go to that
it's a ring
fight.
fight. It's a ring card.
I hope so. You know, we are ring voters. I would love to cover that fight. That's a great fight. Tio's a great fighter. Whatever you think about him, he's a great fighter. And
Yeah,
so is Shakur. Shakur is a great fighter. And I love seeing great fights, but I don't like the monopoly of media, but I do love the fight.
man,
I love the fight.
it's a great fight.
Shout out to Carl
I
Moretti.
know, right next to Rolly. I was trying to take a picture and send it to him.
That was so, something about that was just so amusing to me. I know Rolly was getting on his damn nerves, like the whole fight. Carl just be chilling though. Carl is
Girl,
such a
just
cool
like,
guy. And you know,
yeah.
Rolly is cool, but it was just that visual of them next to each other was just so funny to me. Every time they showed it, Carl was just looking like, oh
Oh my God, I loved it.
my,
Yeah, we
yeah.
gotta get Rolly back on the. Well, he's never. Well, he has been on the show live. Oh, back to real fast. Pitbull Roach, Devin Haney. Well, of course, Bill Haney, the mouthpiece, is asking for a Pitbull fight.
Mm,
Shakur is wanting Foster. You need to get past the Ofimo first because it's a good fight, and then he can go and fight whoever else, and go collect some belts. But that is, I don't know who's on the undercard, but that fight's January 31st. So that's next year.
yeah, it's coming. That man, it's already December 8th. Like, y'all better be working out so you don't come with your dad bod. You better skip Christmas dinner so you guys can be ready on fight night and look good on this undercard because that'll be the first fight card of the year. And we want to set 2026 off
Uh-huh.
strong because, in case you haven't been paying attention, box needs a little help. Need a
Needs
little
a lot of
help.
help. So right now, if you guys haven't seen on our socials and our YouTube, I spoke with Badu Jack. Ooh, that's heating up because of the thumbnail I put. It's he said it, so it's not like I just put it out there. And Noel McCallion, it's the rematch. It's this weekend at Ace Studios, Ace Mission Studios. It's rematch season. It's championing mental health. But girl, like you said, I didn't know. You're like, I didn't know people were into Badu Jack like that.
Yeah, Badu Jack. Let me see. Badu Jack. And salute to Badu Jack. And this is not a shade. Badu Jack has been in the game for a minute. I
Yeah.
remember when Badu Jack was like an OG Mayweather promotions guy. Like,
Wow.
like it was him. It was the one who's a trainer now for Jake Paul,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
the one
Uh,
that kicked Louis Cuba Arias out of the camp.
yes, yes, I forgot his name.
I can't think of his name now, but like that's when like that's old school when they were wearing like the track suits,
Yeah,
like old
yeah.
school. There wasn't no Tank yet. Like Tank probably was still like a teenager then, like a very, very young man. So he wasn't in the mix yet. But all those guys were the OG
Hmm.
Mayweather promotions guys for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh man, because I don't know, like Jai, because the whole reason why it's blowing up because Jai Opatai, he's the ring winner or ring champion at IBF, and he just fought. He knocked the dude out. Like, prayers to that guy that they had to put him in I think in a induced coma. So,
Mm,
prayers up to him and hope he's gonna be all right. But
absolutely.
he knocked him out. Oh, I have to bring up this fight. Oh, oh my. Okay, when you guys say girls can't knock girls out,
Hmm.
this girl, she fought on the Monte Carlo fight. What is her name? So I get it. It's in the ring thing for our chat. Her name is I had to watch this fight because holy bananas. Her name is Elif Nur Turhan. She knocked out Beatrice Ferreira, who I thought was never going to get knocked down in the fifth round. In the first round, she dropped Ferreira twice. And then in the fifth round, she's from Turkey, and she was just wailing. And they're like, the girl had to stop the fight. I was like, you need to watch the. You just have to watch the highlights on Matchroom or DAZN. I was like, oh, I like this girl a lot.
Oh yeah,
So
I'm gonna run that back.
yeah, you have to see where people place her in the ratings because I was
Mhm.
like, I like this girl. She's got hands. I was like, holy shit. So yeah,
The
kudos
hands
to
are rated
you.
E for everyone. So I'm gonna have to
I
go
like
back.
that.
We got to go back and watch that.
I like that. And lastly, I just saw last thing that we're gonna bring up: Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather, the exhibition in Africa. They
Wait,
they
this is a real thing now?
it's titled An Experience With. It's going to be in Africa. It's an exhibition.
Mm,
They didn't say what time and what day, so it's proposed. So yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then next
Shout out to
week,
the
yeah.
motherland.
And don't worry, Jeandra and I, you just heard it. We are going to be doing a preview of the fights with Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, Alicia Baumgardner versus, but forgot Layla, that's all I remember.
Mhm.
Shannon Courtney is coming back. And I don't know who else is on this card. Oh, Yoka is on the card. There's, it's finally happening. So we're gonna do a prediction. Yeah, well, we should do a prediction because you guys, watch my Badu because he is really good friends with Anthony Joshua, and we talked about what happens if he does not knock out Jake Paul. Hmm, that's a sad day.
I know. I know.
Yeah,
If Anthony Joshua, I beg of you.
all of
And
boxing.
and 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 I don't dislike, I don't have an issue with Jake Paul. I greatly appreciate what he's doing for the sport, for women. He seems to be very committed to his training, but
Yeah,
ultimately this is not his, it's his path now, but it's not always been his path like it is your path.
yeah,
So if I see Anthony Joshua get knocked out by Jake Paul, he might as well just go on and hang it up.
yeah. He better retire.
Just hang it up because there's no recovery from that.
No.
Just hang it up. But you have been looking very fine. I have enjoyed your social media. You might want to make the pivot into acting as well, little James Bond, little something with Idris Elba or Damson Idris or any of those. Skepta, hello, Skepta. All of you blokes should get together and do some fly black British man things. Do those things anyway. But if you get knocked out or even knocked down by Jake Paul, there's no coming back from that, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's serious. It's a serious fight. So this, yeah, 8 ounce gloves. No, is it eight
Yeah.
ounce? Yeah, no, 10 ounce gloves. I think. Yeah, 8 or 10. I can't remember. Eight. They're eight. So
But when we get ready
we'll
to
see.
record next week, we'll have some betting odds, and
Hmm.
Sen is going to break it down for all of you who are betting people. Because, I mean, let's be real, he's going to be an overwhelming favorite over Jake Paul. So that means that we all need to bet on Jake Paul. The boxing fan in me says, do not let this man knock you out. The person who likes to make money fan in me is like, let me put some money on Jake and
Hmm.
see what happens.
There's always the
Mm.
prop bets of, what round is, I mean, they get crazy. Like, will Jake Paul get dropped in the first round or Anthony Josh? So I'm curious to see what these prop bets are going to be for Bet MGM because I don't do DraftKings because I live in Vegas and we don't get
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
You should check on DraftKings there in California to see what they have because sometimes these bets get insane. Like, you know, just will he fall through the ropes? It's like some crazy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they not even come to the ring and walk away.
I don't know,
It's no
sounds
telling.
familiar.
It's no
Yeah, I
telling.
wonder who's going to walk out Anthony Joshua. I wonder who's going to walk out Jake Paul and like his extravagant, like, is he going to come out in a tractor trailer, pimped out? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's Florida, so what is he going to come out in a crocodile? Like what does he
I
come
think
out
that
in?
Anthony Joshua should wear all white, of
Of
course.
course.
He should wear all white, like some very blinged out white, like robe and the trunks and all that, like very Miami cocaina white, looking like fresh to death. I think that would be dope. I think that let's see. Jake Paul usually likes to have a little fun with his ring
Well,
walks.
he usually, yeah, he'll be wearing usually white, the yellow, white, and black because of his that axe looking thing that he has.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm
He should come out like with a wig, like the old school, like the British, like Parliament type shit. He should come out looking like that, like get his full troll on. Or
he does.
if he really wanted to troll, because Anthony Joshua has been spending a lot of time in the motherland, he should come out wearing green and white, like the Nigerian colors. That would be some full on trolling right
Oh
there.
my God.
Nigerians everywhere would be in an uproar, but it would be a great troll move. Like everyone wears like the Mexican, like sombrero, the Mexican colors. Then,
Right?
if you want to get your troll on, wear the Nigerian colors, green and white.
That would be interesting. That day cannot come any faster.
For sure.
All right. Well, yeah, speaking of British, plus 44, shout out to Lewis Hamilton. Yes, it was the last F1 drive yesterday. Well, yeah, Sunday.
Mm.
Ferrari, get your shit together. Get a fucking new car. That's all I'm gonna say. All right,
Yep.
that's all. Okay. Well, Chandra, I am so glad we were able to catch up and run it back and talk about a
Me
lot of these
too.
things. Oh, you know what? I have to kind of add in with the WBC and Crawford. I did see on social media, Errol Spence even chimed in about the WBC. He's like, during their fight, he goes, when I spoke up about the WBC, like, why should I have to pay and where does this money go? Crawford just sat there quiet. He's like, why is he now chiming in? I was like, oh, let me look at my footage
Mm.
of what, like when he said that. So I was like,
Yeah, now we got to go down the rabbit hole of and see everybody who talked about sanctioning fees in the WBC. Stay
Like
tuned.
good for Oscar De La Hoya. His clap back, he was very honest. And so obviously he knows where the money's going, but it's like, hey, 50 million is 50 million and 300,000 is 300,000. That's a damn house in like not
Folks
many
should do an
places.
audit and
Well,
think of all fighters who've ever fought for a belt, held a belt, should do an audit of their finances and see how much they've paid the WBC over the tenure of their career. All fighters, attention, all fighters. If you have been a WB, I sound like one of those, if you've been a victim of Ozempic, if you have been a WBC champion or fought for a WBC belt, whether you won or lost,
or even
do
other
you pay them
sanctioning
only
bodies.
when you lose or when you win? I mean,
Yeah, 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 because you earn the
okay,
belt.
so if you've won a WBC belt
Or
in the
any other belt.
last 10 years, let's say 10 years,
Yeah.
do a quick audit and see how much you've paid out in sanctioning fees, and then holla back at
And
us.
and do it to the other belts because now we're curious of like, are the sanctioning fees the same? Because in this case, he said Terence Crawford for this particular situation, it's not the same. So I just thought it was a blanket percentage across all belts,
Mhm.
but WBC is much more prestigious. I'm just saying it. Like, okay, Giandra, lots to unpack here. You guys tell us what your thoughts are. Thoughts about WBC. Well, not but well, we already know. Yeah, put in the comments about Crawford. And then who do you have? Teofimo versus Shakur. Do you think? I mean, I don't think it's going to end in knockout. I think it's going
Me
to be
neither.
skill for skill. Both of them will be on their bikes, but hey, gonna be a skill for skill. I want to see how the output is. Do you want to see a Pitbull versus Roach too? Or who should
Mm.
Pitbull fight? Who should Lamont Roach fight? I saw Tank Davis chimed in. And yeah, Floyd versus Tyson Israel. So
Yes,
and put in your
indeed.
early predictions for Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. So it's a
For sure.
lot, a lot, a lot. And make sure you guys watch the Bad Dude Jack and Noel McKaylian fight. Watch our socials. I will be dropping some new footage on our new social template that's going to look fancy.
Woo!
But yeah. All right, Chandra, I miss you. I love you. God, I can't wait to see you fly looking self. You're looking good.
And exactly, when you guys see us pop out again, please believe it's going to be
Oh,
another
please
pop
believe.
out.
Big things happening for us.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thanks again for tuning in to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I am Giandra LaBeouf.
See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.